Hello, this is Ashley Danielle from ashleydanielle.com, your psychic intuitive manifestation mentor. I received a really fun question that I'm going to dive into and go deeper into, and that is how to work with tarot cards in manifestation. And I'm going to expand this to include other spiritual tools that you can use in your manifestation journey and why would you want to? So for me, I firmly believe that utilizing your intuition in manifestation is key because it's like bridging the gap between our physical realm, our physical body, and our soul, and like the 3D world, what is actually happening. And I also understand that most people aren't utilizing your intuition at the deepest level that you can. And one way to get there, one way to start to uncover your intuitive gifts is through using tools like tarot or oracle cards, a pendulum. Love, love, love a pendulum, especially when you are beginning or desiring to strengthen your intuition. So why would you want to use tarot cards or oracle cards? I think that first of all, tarot cards and oracle cards are different. They want me to show you what I have here. So I have a tarot deck that I got that shows, so like the tarot uh won't necessarily have words on it. But I have a deck that actually tells, like, if it's upright, this is what it means, and if it's upside down or in reverse, this is what it means, because I think that that's can be super helpful. And then oracle cards, I have this deck. Um, Usually will have like pictures, or this one says your past supports your future. And then usually they come with like a book. This is the deck that I just had here. The Sacred the Sacred Creators Oracle. I love this deck. I have quite a few decks on my phone, so you can download apps. To me, it's fun because it gives you like a tangible tool, because a lot of like intuition and manifestation and spirit work is not tangible, right? I mean, you can receive things that are tangible, but a lot of messages and guidance and just even owning your own power, it's like it's not tangible. And so, especially if you're just starting out, or if you're, wanting to go to the next level, it can be a bit disorienting, and it can feel a bit like, am I doing this right? Nothing's happening. I firmly believe that the way that I do things is not necessarily the way that is going to work for you. I've taken a lot of courses and all of this stuff, and none of the like spiritual teachers that I've worked with, their method just never worked for me. And so I always thought that I was doing it wrong, or what I was experiencing was just in my head and like wasn't accurate. I always like to say that the way that I explain things, I try to keep it very vague and broad, because it's going to be different for every person. But tarot cards, oracle cards, pendulums, there's other things like, using oils and all I was gonna say gemstones, that's not the correct word. Crystals, like there's all different sorts of spiritual tools that you can use to help you. But I would caution not to completely give your power away to these things. They are a tool. They are not God. They are not the answer, right? They don't supersede your own intuition and your own like inner knowing. So just, pay attention to that. One reason that I love using tools too is because the way that it helps you enhance your intuition and learn to trust your intuition more is it'll give you an answer, right? Like you can ask a question and then it'll give you an answer, right? If and I'm not going to go into like how to use the tarot so much, but one way that I do it and that I teach my clients to do is I'll just ask a question like very broad, right? So I'll be like, what what do I need to know in this moment? Or if I'm pulling cards for a client, like what does this person need to know right now? Or I used to ask more questions like, is this the right blank for me? Like, is this the right job opportunity for me? You're not necessarily going to get yes or no answers. If you use a pendulum, you will. So a pendulum is like, I should have grabbed it, but mine, I have like a moonstone and it's on the end of on the end of a chain, and you program it is not the right word, but you communicate with it. It's like, yeah, show me a yes, show me a no. So then you would ask yes or no questions. But like with tarot or with oracle cards, it's like it's going to give you broader guidance. And for me, especially in the beginning, it was super helpful because I would intuitively know the answer, right? Like, is, for example, dating, right? And it's like, is this the right person for me? And it's like everything in my body's telling me no, but like my brain is like, oh, but this person on paper looks perfect and blah 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 blah. How, like, right? And so it's not just me. They're like, it's not just you, actually. Would kind of like disconnect from my body to fix, to like make it work, to make it fit when it wasn't a fit and it was never going to be a fit. And it's like, this is true for like jobs and it, like, I don't know, they're showing me like if you're looking to buy a vehicle and it's like, is this the right one for me? And it's like, it might be like a yes, and you're like, oh, but the payment's too much, or oh, it's not the color I thought I wanted. And these, it's like super superficial examples, but I would suggest playing around. Like if you want to use oracle cards, if you want to use tarot cards, let it be light and fun, and let it be something that you use to help you enhance your own intuition and help you in your manifestation process in that way. And also know that nothing is set in stone, nothing is concrete. So it's like, if you're using a pendulum and you're like, is this the man for me? And it says no, and you're like, actually, no, I really feel like this is. Go with your gut, your intuition. Go with your own, it's like free will, right? It's like go with your own free will, because whatever's going to unfold is going to unfold. And I believe that we always get where we're going, regardless of what path we take. And some might just take us longer to get there, or it might be a bumpier ride or a smoother ride or whatever. But it's like, Spirit's like, you can't mess this up. You can't mess this up. So let it be fun. Something else that I would say is, don't give all your power away for like booking spirit sessions or, working with psychics. And I say that as somebody, I consider myself to be psychic. It can be fun and it can be helpful to go that route. But what tends to happen, and why I don't love to offer psychic sessions exclusively anymore, is because people will give their power to me or to other intuitive people, psychics, that they're like, oh, like, is this my person? Or where am I going to meet my person? Or is this the right job opportunity? And it's like giving all of your power away to somebody else is not, it's not cool. It's not the way to, it's not the way to do it. It's it's unhelpful, right? And it can be fun and it can be helpful in like mini doses, right? To just be like a check-in, have somebody check in and be like, I'm really struggling with making this decision. Like that's where I feel like having outside guidance can be helpful, but not give your, and they're like, stop saying power, like stop giving your power away. It's like giving your authority away. Like I am the authority in my life. That doesn't mean that I don't work with coaches or mentors or therapists or whatever to help support and guide me. But at the end of the day, I'm the one that makes the decisions, right? I say yes to using tarot slash oracle cards and other spiritual tools. Do so with like lightheartedness. Don't be like, well, my card said no, so it can't be. No, don't do that, because you have the authority in your life and you have the power in your life and you have the power of choice. It's like, oh, I'm gonna disagree. I just like, I'm having this whole conversation in my head and I'm gonna vocalize it. It's like, oh, so I'm gonna use the cards and then I'm gonna disagree and then get mad when something happened that the card said was going to happen, and it's like, it's a relationship, right? It's a relationship that you build. Like I have a relation, sounds silly, I know. I have a relationship with my decks. I know what decks to go to if I'm craving support in different ways. One way that I use my cards or the oracle cards is I'll pull cards to help guide me on what topics to talk about. I will use the cards to help me start journaling. It's like because some decks actually have like journal prompts on them, which can be super helpful to help me like get out of my own head and get into the flow of energy that wants to move through me. And it's the same thing with anything, right? It's the same thing with manifestation. It's like I'm not receiving this thing. What is happening? Like, what am I not seeing? And you can be like, boop, 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 use the cards to like see a bigger picture that you might not see on your own because you're so close to, your life. I mean, you're in it, right? I hope that this is helpful. And if you have any questions or comments, I would love to read them in the comment section below. And until next week, bye.